What is Android fragmentation? And can Google fix it? Anyone who's owned a non-Nexus Android phone is all too familiar with the update process, or, perhaps more accurately, the lack thereof. Android fragmentation, a problem with the operating system from its inception, has only become more acute an issue over time, as more users clamor for the latest and greatest software to arrive on their phones. Fragmentation may seem like a technical term that isn't an issue for the average user, but in reality it's not too difficult a concept to explain. The word can refer to any one of a variety of things. Most often, it is used to describe the appalling number of Android versions running on consumer devices, but it also has been used to refer to manufacturers' skins and other matters, like security patches, in recent years. In the most basic terms, fragmentation is the reason that Android devices you'll come across continue to run years-old Froyo builds in a world where Android 7.0 Nougat has begun to make its way to a select few devices. Why is Android fragmented? The cause of Android fragmentation is not difficult to pinpoint. Such disparity in devices occurs simply because Android is an open-source operating system. In short, manufacturers are, within limits, allowed to use Android as they please, and are thus responsible for offering updates as they see fit. The problem here is obvious. Not every manufacturer or carrier, as we'll get to, will remain consistent with updates, and some Android versions running on devices may be so heavily modified that updates just don't make sense. One big reason for fragmentation is manufacturers' insistence on skinning their versions of Android, that is, offering a unique take on Android customized for a particular phone. This is why phones running MIUI will look infinitely different than a Nexus device, although both are running the same operating system beneath the visual and functional differences, while skins appear downright egregious in some instances, though many manufacturers have moved in recent years to lighten their skins up for the sake of performance, speedier updates, and user experience. In others, the reason for their existence is easy to contemplate. One easy example is the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. The phone sports an iris scanner, which stock versions of Android are not equipped to make use of. As a result, that feature had to be made unique to Samsung's version of the operating system, and when Android updates come, Samsung will have to port iris scanner capabilities to the newer version. Inevitably, this means manufacturers will have versions of Android all over the board in terms of customization. While it seems at this point that manufacturers deserve the blame for your phone running KitKat still, other factors are at play. 2. One of those factors is carriers' insistence on customizing phones. This can be as unintrusive as a boot animation, or as explicit as building specific bloatware apps for a particular phone. And this isn't even the real culprit. Carriers' often excruciatingly long processes for approving updates for Android devices are to blame for many a delay